What is that flag doing? I think that flag is actually, like, wrapped into itself. Do you see that?
It's twisted.
It's twisted. It just looked like it was pushing through itself at one point. Oh well. Anyway, let's beat this game. And also get very mad at it, maybe, kind of, sort of. Oh. Shell's closing the door. Alright. Oh, do we have to see this again? Okay, no, we don't have to see this again. Alright, let's get really cold, because I'm freezing to death before this mission even begins. This boss fight. We really did not leave ourselves in an advantageous position yesterday. Not anywhere even remotely close. Okay, luckily we got a little bit of firewood, and we've got a decent amount of food, and I think those boxes just randomly respawn, which is really, really nice. So, let's see how this goes. I thought Wander punched his controller. No, Shell realized we had left the door open. And we don't want to be the asshole neighbors that shout things in their apartment where all the other neighbors can hear, because that's extremely rude. And that's what our neighbors did to us fairly unapologetically, and it was not appreciated. I'm just going to go to maximum warm here. Oh, right, we do have those big fire things. Okay, so we're good. Thank you, Omega Zero, for the sub. Let's see, 1.5 years. Damn, that's 18 months. I guess resub. Shell, do you think I'm gonna beat it on this try? Do you think you're going to be awake long enough for me to beat this bird?
I don't know. Considering how long it took you last time to just land on it.
But this time, we shoot it in the mouth with a flaming arrow, and maybe that'll work?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I believe in myself. Alternatively, I can hand you the controller, and then I can just sit back and relax.
It's one of those things where you expect that to work when you've had all the practice.
No, I know. I realize that sort of thing is extremely cruel and unusual, and it's only worked, like, twice? With generally puzzles.
And that's because I enjoy puzzles.
Yeah.
Not that I dislike combat, it's just that one is more about problem solving and the other one is about dexterity.
Combat absolutely is about problem solving sometimes, though.
But it's also about timing and manual dexterity. So
yeah, I guess. It depends on the game. There's a lot of games where, like, the boss fights are much more boss fights as a puzzle. There's not that many of them. There's not many games that do it well. Whoops. So I don't actually have to hold it in.
Uh-oh, it's right above you.
Somehow I didn't get burnt in that. I'm kind of surprised. I don't know. I want to see a game that makes combat more puzzle-based. It'd be a neat thing. There's a couple that kind of go in there.
Actually, there's a game that we had played at PAX, and it was... it's like the world next door.
Oh, yeah, the world next door.
That one is, you were sort of on a grid, and the grid had various elemental symbols on them, and you had to connect.
It was match 3, but you were running around on the world.
And you were facing an opponent, and like the proximity you were to the opponent and what elements you sicked on them as your magical spells or whatnot, it varied in effectiveness and such.
And it was neat. I have not seen somebody do match 3 in that style before. And I'm actually rather looking forward to it coming out.
Well, it also had artwork from I forget the artist's name, but I recognize her work, and she was doing all the character portraits for the, I suppose there's an amount of conversation that goes on. Those little, you know how they have the characters on either side.
Yeah, visual novel style dialogue.
Yeah, visual novel style dialogue.
And yeah, I know there are games that have match 3 as combat, but no, you're walking around on the tiles yourself, dodging enemy attacks and linking up the shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and where your position matters.
Yeah.
And where your opponent in this position matters.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. It's an interesting twist that I almost worked at a match 3 company. Well, I say almost worked. I worked there for a day, and it was bad. And I hate that. And I never want to do that again. Yeah, there's also Into the Breach. Yeah, if you want a game where the combat is puzzle, Into the Breach is probably the best. Though that's actually something I've said about a lot of strategy games, is combat as a puzzle. Strategy games as more of a puzzle than anything else. Ow.
Now, is the...
I was hoping to grab some more supplies, but...
Is the middle lit, or do you need...
Yeah, the middle is lit and ready to go.
Okay.
Before Skelebones comes for me.
Yeah.
Hopefully that fakes them out and they go away.
They can't climb, though, correct?
Correct. They're really boring. They have 2 options, which is run at you and swing at you. And then I guess their third option, which is do like an awkward jump attack. Oh, nope, a club.
Yep, you caught your
Try to
clubs on fire.
put it away. I wish there was a button that I would press instead of her just being like, fire! Time to burn my weapon! Like, what? What are you doing?
Oh. But his mouth is no longer open. Okay, let's get an eye on him. There he is up there. Your bow is also going to run out of durability when you fire that arrow.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully
fine.
It would be horrible if the arrow burned to a crisp in your hand and proved ineffective, but there you go. I don't think you got him.
Didn't work, no. So part of it is I don't know how to aim. Because,
I
you
think
know,
you
it's
have to
an
wait
art.
until like the last moment. It's probably one of those again. Something happened. Yeah, he crashed. That's his tail. Keep going down the length
I
of his
took
body.
a lot of damage. Well,
Oh.
oh, that's the wrong one. I was going to chug a lug first.
And is he starting to move?
Yeah. So we might just do this 3 times. I mean, as long as we know that we can do this, this will be much, much easier.
Mm-hmm. He still seems to be on the Earth, though. He hasn't
Yeah.
taken flight yet. Now he has.
Yeah, so if we can... Oh,
What's up?
that's weird. It doesn't really, like, react.
He growled. Now, I wonder how far you can climb up the body. And you notice there's that little grapple point.
Yeah.
When he shifts from side to side, it should give you the opportunity to stand upright.
If I can? Nope, never mind.
Oops.
She just tumbled right off.
Aw.
I was trying to get my stamina back, but it wasn't working. Honestly, I'm probably just going to blast him in the face again, and then... Because getting from the tail to the wingtip was going to be a journey. And considering how awkward he is to climb,
I still would have really liked to have seen it if you held on. He dips to one side or the other, and then you stand on those spikes.
Yeah.
And then he dips back, and you have to hold on.
The problem is she ragdolls, and it's very hard to, like, grab on...
You're a little close to the edge.
Well, it's one of those that, like, in a totally, like, a very well-designed game or, like, a realistic standpoint, it'd be super easy. It would just be like, oh, it would be super easy. It's like, okay, so I'm just gonna kind of, like, make sure that if I start falling, I immediately, I immediately, like, grab on or whatever, but instead she's just like, well, ragdolling, and then just falls off. Which is what happened to me, because I was trying to grab on and was not interested.
Okay, he's coming in close, and... Yep.
Got him again. I think we still took a buttload of damage, but...
Yep, yeah, that you did. We'll try to round up to his wing as swiftly as possible.
I will try.
Probably over on the right.
Yep. It took him a little while to get going. Long enough for me to get up to a wingtip. No problem.
Oh no. That wasn't enough.
Oh,
yeah,
second.
hook on over there. And there's one on his chest by the looks of it.
Wow. No, 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 no.
What? Did he shake himself? Is that what happened?
I must have tipped A.
Okay, well now you have to hold on.
The problem is the tap button to not fall
Is the same as let go?
is right next to let go, so if
Oh, it's
I
right
fat
next
thumb
to
it...
let go. Okay, that'd be terrible if
Okay,
they're the same.
screw it. I'm just gonna go for the belly.
Yep.
If I can.
This is an interesting perspective. I like his catfish tendrils, whatever they are.
Yeah, this is cool. Oh,
Okay. Well, hopefully you can hold on for just the last one. Oh, it was another click. There you go. Is that all of them? Yeah. If you can get to his back, that'll
yeah,
be
that's
good.
the goal. I should have enough stamina. I think.
Yeah, if you can get to the top of that wing. It'll be dicey.
I believe in me. Oh.
Is he tipping? Okay, you can probably stand now.
Oh, the one other problem is the camera tries to turn in like a cinematic fashion.
Okay, now hold on. Go down to the left wing, I suppose.
Yep. I can. Unfortunately, it likes to flap said wing, which immediately puts her into, well... Notice.
Uh-huh.
Gonna get a bit of stamina back. Okay, there we go.
Good.
He's gliding this time. Yeah, if I can even just get one of the wingtips, I'll be okay.
Okay. I was in flat mode.
And yeah, we've got a buttload of stamina this time around.
Whoa.
Oh, he's still flapping. Unfortunately, the camera moves, so it's kind of hard to tell what's just the camera freaking out and what's the, what's her, like, getting knocked off.
So close.
Come on.
And the problem is, will you even have enough...
Yeah, I have enough stamina.
You'll have enough stamina to maybe do 1 or 2 hits, but I don't know about all 3.
I had about this much for the heart.
Right, but he's gonna flap his wing more often than the chest will move. You got 1.
We'll see. I mean, remember, worst comes to worst, I just fall off. Like, I don't need to keep my stamina.
Ah.
Yep. So this might take another try.
Okay, you got 2.
And all I need is one more.
Aw, but it looks like it's gonna be out. There you
Wow.
go.
Oh, time to freeze to death.
Is this
Nope.
gonna... Yeah, it's gonna deplete you, but hopefully you'll get to the shore in time. Those fires should be able to help you.
Yeah, the fires are fine.
You can probably drown, too. That's another thing.
No. It didn't look like it.
Well, you're running out of stamina while you're in the water.
Well, it's because I was mashing the A button to swim faster.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta go get some food, though.
But didn't Link have a stamina meter?
Yeah.
And he could drown?
But, that's Breath of the Wild.
Right, but that's the Breath of the Wild. And this is very similar in
It's
some
true.
respects.
I hate those guys. Avoid this for a second. Leave me alone, boner pants.
Okay. You should be able to escape them there.
I think he got I think one of them got toasted.
Really? I like it when enemies can actually destroy one another.
Okay, I'm just gonna get some warmth, and then I want to go back for those boxes. That's enough. Because one thing we're gonna need is bedroll. Oh, I want to use the axe. I only have axes. I thought I had a club earlier. Okay, so that wrecked everything in here, which is perfect. Because, yeah, it took out the dude, got me an arrow, got me some stuff, busted all the boxes open for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I realize the sparkliness of all of this really is, like, super Breath of the Wild. You know, the random items on the ground.
Yep. The fact that they have an entire model that you see.
Well, it's not just that, though, because I think they sparkles in the exact same manner in Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Boxes. Well. Why are there these guys here?
Because these are all the slain foes of this giant bird monster.
I guess. I mean, that's kind of fine. It just adds very little to this boss fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting how... Uh-oh.
We're good?
That was a little bit of a frozen bit.
Yeah.
It's interesting how disjointed they are. In most other boss battles, if there's ads, they're, say, evil plant offspring, or there's necromancer summons, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but in this case, it's just the same undead dudes that have been here this entire game for reasons. Nope.
Ouch.
Didn't actually take damage from it. I saw something that looked boxish. I'm trying to grab them because I think they respawn mid-fight. Like on a timer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we did not finish that one wing.
No. You had one more.
Okay, I think this time what I'm going to try and do...
well, what would be good is if you could get to the other wing, do that as much as possible, and then climb back up to the middle, ride on the spines, and then get the last one. But the riding on the spines is akin to surfing
It's
in
tough.
tumultuous waters.
Where are you, big bird?
Uh-oh, what? Oh.
Yeah.
You decided to fire earlier?
I'm getting the timing and the arc better.
Yep, just keep running up. And there's its claws.
Okay. I'd like to go for the other wing, but I'm gonna get this one first.
Yeah, make sure you build up your stamina before he really starts to get going.
The fact that I have to go through this entire process just to be on him. Oh, God.
Whoa. That tower actually went through the wing. That was interesting.
Yeah.
It would have been terrible if it recognized you as a vector for collision, and then he
threw me
flapped
off.
his wing through it and then knocked you off.
Okay, as long as I can get this one thing, I'll be happy. Then we'll see about getting elsewhere.
Yeah.
Apparently we're also starving, which is annoying.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, it was one of those
Yeah.
clicks. Is that it? Is it burnt out?
Yeah, it's burnt out.
Okay, try to climb to the middle as swiftly as possible. Or stand if you can. Whoa, now you're sliding down.
Works.
Grab. Or you can stand on his spine now. That's good.
Well, somewhat.
Well, he flipped back the other way.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hang out here. I'm gonna see if when he flips back or something, hang out right here.
Oh, so you don't use up stamina when you're just holding?
Okay. Risky business.
Whoa.
Figured I'd try and eat some food. I have a smidge. I don't think there's any on his head.
Mm-mm. I really think it was 4. So yeah, that last wing should have it.
Yep. I'm just gonna wait until he's like more level.
And then you'll gain more stamina and then...
Yeah. And then I'll try and either climb down or run down. The one problem with running down is she has the absolute tendency of just ragdolling off, and then it's just meaningless.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think he's at a glide now. He's gonna tilt.
It's fine.
Okay.
And run up some amount.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there's actually like a weird crouch walk that you can do that also regains stamina, but I've never figured out how to do it. It just happens randomly. Because maybe it's if you press the climb button and you're not... I don't know. I don't have an answer. Okay, well, one way or another, stamina bar is much better this time around.
Do you know what I miss? I noticed that in some games, if you lightly put the joystick forward, your character walks. But then if you do so to pretty much, you know, the other end of the piece of plastic, well, if you push the joystick so that it touches the piece of plastic up at the top, then they run at what their full speed would be before, say, the stamina sprint. And I've noticed that a number of games don't do that anymore. You just run.
A lot of games still do that. It just really depends on which game you're talking. I think part of it is...
It depends on if there's a stealth mechanic involved where you need to do the silent walk or the slow
Yeah.
walk.
You stop flapping!
Oh. Okay. That looks good. Or it
Nope.
would have been a good bit of time if you had already been on it.
But yeah, if you notice she, like, falls off.
Now. Good. Almost. Just one more time. Good.
Nope.
Oh, you slid? Or you're gaining... Okay, good.
There we go. Yeah, I realized he was going into a glide. And I was like, I might not make it otherwise, but this is a worthwhile shot. Come
Oh,
on!
Almost.
That's so close!
Yeah, she really has to wind up with a whole... Whoosh.
And it just resets it every single time.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, now.
That just awkward dunk.
Well, when she wakes, where will she be? Still in that chamber?
Yeah.
There's those eerie wisps. Whole area's flooded. Oh, the wolf. Are those his footsteps?
Yeah.
Making the whole world around you shake? Oh, he's getting the same glow. No, no, Wolfie. No. Is she afflicted with it too? There's light to designate another creature has to be killed there.
It really kind of undercut her reaction there. She's like, I'm glowing, and then the camera's just like, and now we're outside.
Yeah, but is it you, the wolf, or you and the wolf?
I don't know, but that sure is a nice skyline.
To be continued. Thank you for playing the early access release.
And the wolf is gone.
Where's Wolfie?
I don't know. Well, we were 25 minutes from beating this last time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. I mean, honestly, that's not that big of a deal. Alright, so we got one more thing that we can do. Something that I kind of skipped because I realized it was meaningless. And it's not as meaningless. Let's go find one of those, like, X marks the spot caves. And actually see what's inside one.
Oh, well, didn't we find the one that was associated with...
Yeah, but it was locked and we couldn't get into it. Yeah. I'm a little mad about that. Because it's just like, hey, here's a cool thing. Oh, by the way, you can't actually get into it until you kill the boss. At which point, you're warped away from where this thing is. So, hope you remember where it is. And it's like, not a big deal, but it's just like, well... I guess we could also, like, fight some shamans and...
Well, you described the shaman as loot pinatas, but
yeah,
not with any loot
there's
that
no
would...
point in fighting them. If they actually drop something cool, or interesting or useful...
Even if they were slightly upgraded versions of our current set of armor, but in, say, black, with blue markings on it or something cool...
Yeah. There's a couple of different ways it could have been done. I don't know. I'm curious. They said this game was feature complete. I don't know about content complete.
I think... unless that's supposed to be the open-ended ending where they say, well, looks like definitely the wolf, but maybe you and the wolf are going to be the next great beasts.
Yeah. I don't...
Or it's one of those things where your character is looking up and the wolf is starting to become even more grotesque and probably doesn't fight you then and there. They probably rush off to another location, or I don't know.
I almost feel like this game should have been redone instead of us, like, being in this undead area. It almost feels like we should have, you know, with all the, like, undead and the shaman and whatever, I almost feel like we should have had, like, boatloads of other humans, like, kind of adventurers rolling in, and you almost, like, you almost show up, and you see people are already trying to down the colossi and failing, or maybe they do some damage to it as
That
like
would
a
require more
cutscenes.
human
Yeah.
character models, cutscenes.
Because I'm just thinking, like, if it's this easy to become a deity, like,
Well-
you'd think half of the society is just, like, here trying to compete for it.
But it does look like all the boats have been shipwrecked, as opposed to...
True. But, like, imagine the fur...
Unless, based on all the clan banners, it was one of those things where...
They all tried, and then somehow we're the ones that succeeds. I guess it's valid.
Well, I don't think they were the ones that succeeded. I think it may have been one of those things where maybe you are promised godly strength if you can defeat them. But then they try and fail and all end up as corpses.